This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast.
And we're back. We changed our clothes and everything. No, we didn't. So, where we last left off was we had been given a prompt by our dear Dr. Jolie Hamilton to do some curious work around a source wound, because when there is deep, deep wounding, there's usually something that we have triggered, something that we have touched upon. And because you're an incredible person who spends a lot of time in meditative practice and in listening and in curiosity, you found one. How does it feel to talk about it, to share about it?
Yeah, great.
Okay.
One of the things I'd recommend most to men or women, or however you identify, is to start a meditation practice and get some structure on it. Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, what's it called?
I'll link it.
There's two of them, thank you. It'll come to me when I'm in mid-sentence, but it's literally a structured meditative practice where you go in and out of things, and then I'm prompted with headphones. I don't fuck with my phone when it comes to it, but I have a $20 MP3 player.
So cute.
Yeah, and where it's low tech or dumb phone. So and these things come out of this. So this is a feminine wound, and it actually doesn't have to do with my mom. I was a boy, 9, 10. I was a boy. This was pre-puberty. I was in a car with, family friends. My mom had these friends, and so they had 3 kids, and his name was Brett. I'm going to use real names here. His name was Brett, and so we were the same age, so we always played together because his mom, and my mom were really good friends, but we never really got along. Anyway, so it was his mom and his sister, the older sister. She was 3 or 4 years ahead of us, so she was a teenager at the time, which is might as well have been an adult if you're a child. And they were in the front seat. We were in the back seat. I believe we were dropping off one of her friends. It was at night, and it was the Adam Sandler song, "Put on your yarmulke, here comes Hanukkah, hope I get a harmonica." And maybe it was the first time I was ever hearing the song, and we were enjoying it, and we dropped off one of her friends. She got really upset at me, where she started complaining about me to her mother, and they were talking about me like I wasn't there. And I just remember very vividly her being very upset, and she kept saying, "He's an asshole. He's an asshole." And I believe it had to do with that I was making fun of the Jewish religion, or I was mocking Judaism, because I think her friend that I believe we dropped off was Jewish. And so she kept saying, "He's an asshole, he's an asshole." And then the mom was like, "Oh yeah," she goes, "Oh, I know," or "Oh yeah," kind of there. But she was giving there, but the entire time they were having a conversation about me, and they never talked to me. I remember what side of the car I was on. And I remember turning to Brett, I guess for reassurance, and he just looked straight forward. He wasn't against me, but it was just so much confusion. And I don't remember what I had done. And I'm pretty sure at 10 years old I wasn't anti-Semitic. I'm almost positive. And no words were ever said. I don't think I ever asked for clarification, because I was scared to talk. And they never asked me any questions. And then that was the car ride. And I remember this, where the older sister came and gave me a hug after we got out of the car when we got back to their house. I don't know if she said I'm sorry, or I don't know if you're forgiven, but I remember she came and gave me a hug. And it was genuine too, where this wasn't like a forced Like the mom made her give me a hug, and that was the memory. But it was so interesting where Dr. Jolie goes like, "Where's this kind of?" It was a big feminine wound, and it's the only one I can, other than in like my 20s and things like that. But as a child, I can remember that it wasn't caused by my mother. But I do have a lot of trauma in a car of not being able to escape. I remember this vividly where one time my mom, and it wasn't about me, she was so angry about something, but I remember her at the top of her lungs, as loud as she could, like she was trying to throw out her voice, screaming at me. I remember that vividly. Where I like it, my little nervous system, I was shaking. Yeah, for maybe 30 minutes afterward. Yeah, but I've got a lot of car trauma where it's like I can't escape. So anyway, that's what came up when Dr. Jolie asked us to kind of go back. Yeah, that's a core memory that it hasn't left me.
Yeah. One that I had never heard before either, because I know...
I don't think I've ever shared this with anyone.
It was wild.
Yeah.
You were like, babe, I found, like, can we do the source wound thing in our Sunday morning ritual time? And I was like, sure. And you were like, yeah, I found one. Because Jolie was also really saying, it's probably really young. Like, it's probably really young. She could just sense that in your body. Do you want to share what we did?
Yeah, we did this beautiful exercise where I closed my eyes and you became the mom. And before we started, you're like, Trey, what do you want? Or like, what would you want this little boy? And what I really wanted is I wanted to be included in the conversation. I wanted to be asked some questions instead of criticized. And so we went through where you, as the mom in that car, were asking me questions and then asking the daughter questions. And what came up was that the daughter was trying to protect her friend. And I got a lot of questions on like, hey, just seeking clarity. What was and it was like, well, I love the song. I get to see Adam Sandler on Saturday Night Live because he was so young when he was on SNL, and I got to watch him, and I was a big fan, and what a song. And I'm pretty sure I'm not a 10-year-old anti-Semite, pretty sure, 80% sure. And yeah, so it was neat and even Brett, the little boy, talked to next, and we all just kind of like, we got clear. And so I got the questions, and we all got the clarification in that car that has been missing for 30 years. Because I always thought that mom was agreeing with the daughter that I'm an asshole. And I never knew why I was such an asshole and a bad kid. And it's connected with, in that Uber ride, Trey, you're an asshole. And I didn't know why. And I was stuck in a fucking car. And it's like, Trey, you had a good time. I didn't. You're an asshole. And it's like, okay. And then it's like, be small. Don't show up to these things. Don't help your wife. She can do it all on her own. You're going to fuck things up. Yeah. And then the shadow side is, okay, she's ungrateful. Okay. Or she can't ask for what she wants, which is not that she can't, but we didn't program that in aftercare. So, and you're too much. And be small. So, Those are the things that came up. It's 8:55.
I know. How did doing the exercise, I just want to wrap up on this. How did it feel? How did it feel when we were done? Yeah.
It's genuinely a relief.
Yeah. All we
It's
did,
a
y'all.
renegotiation,
Yes.
and it kind of closes the loop of like, oh, that's what I needed, and then we can do it in the imagination.
Mm-hmm. I just sit in bed.
It was powerful. It was very effective. It was very powerful. I didn't go to tears.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to. Yeah, it was a version of me as the little boy answering these questions, and me as a man sitting in my bedroom.
Yeah.
I didn't transport back. This isn't a fucking movie.
No.
But it was two versions at the same time of me being in our bedroom, then me being in that car.
Yeah.
And both were okay. It was beautiful. Thank you for doing that.
You're so welcome. It is so neat to utilize like how we parent now, right? With curiosity and lots of questions.
Can I make a request?
Yeah.
Can we go back in our own time and close our eyes and go back to that night after the Soho House and get back in the car?
Yeah. That's a good idea.
And then have the conversation that we both would like to have now, being a month removed.
That's a good idea.
And talking about this. I would like to, renegotiate that moment. And then maybe even renegotiate moments before.
I love it.
Or when you're doing your hair.
Yeah.
Or when you're doing your hair, I turn to you, it's like, hey, aftercare, let's talk about it.
Right.
Alcohol, let's talk about it.
Right. Yeah, I think it'd be so fun.
I would love to renegotiate that night with you. Yeah, and truly close the loop on this.
Before we do it again.
Yeah, so I can.
6 days, 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, love you, honey.
I love you. I really do. I'm really proud of you and us. And
Proud of you too.
This is, again, partnership is a choice. Living on our own might be easier, but it's not going to allow us to heal these types of wounds. They just sit in little pockets. They're less triggered, truly.
Are you saying you want to stay married?
I would love to stay married.
For today?
For today.
Great.
I choose you today.
I choose you also today.
Thanks for coming to this episode of the Partnership Podcast, a short and sweet follow-up to last week. If these types of tools are something that you are interested in working on, I would love to chat with you. You can go to sexedforyou.com/free consult, request a free consult there. It has been revolutionary for us to be able to go back and renegotiate trauma through play. It is a Dr. Peter Levine technique that I have taken and made my own through utilizing the active imagination. And we use it a lot. We really do. And it has been so healing because most often it is not that Trey or I are hurting one another. It's that we are tapping, poking an old source wound. So again, take what you like, leave the rest. These are our opinions and lived experiences. You have a right to self-determination and informed decision-making. Please have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for coming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Love you, babe.
Love yous.
I know you gotta run. Little kiss.
Oh, we're funny.